But you don't see it. But in her case, I'm gonna, because I want to keep still heavy, I'm gonna come out here and do a 9.
And when you do 90, does it add layers?
Yeah. It's long. There's no difference if she had this short hair or this long or this long. It's the same technique.
Huh.
This technique is the same thing, no matter what. So if she was short, I would be where? Right there, right?
Right.
Now I'm up here. So the technique is the same thing. Don't think like you have to recreate yourself. It's the same thing. If it's short, you're here. If it's medium, it's here. Your long is here. So right now I'm long.
And long layers is when you cut towards
Right.
the bottom, right? Not towards the top.
I can take a guide from the center, do the sub panel on the side, bring it here. You see my guide, and cut it. And usually it's better when you get to the side. You see there's no hair here, just pull that hair toward the middle section so you don't lose. And I can also use my point of my scissor like that to create more texture. Because if you now look at the difference between the right side and the left side. You see that? How much softer the hair is falling and how heavy it's here? Everybody sees that, right? See how easy that was? So now I do the same thing here. This is also called, this area is also called as no-fly zone. Because there's no hair, so there's hair in here, but there's no hair at the bottom. That's why you have to pull it a little bit back to the center.
Over direct.
Over direct, yeah. So there's not much hair to cut there.
So you're going in and doing your 90 plus your texturizing.
Right. Yeah. So now both sides is the same. From that really heavy bottom, so in order for me to check it, I can also check it. I go hold it horizontal, and I can check it this way too. If you want a more texturizing, you can bring it horizontally. Also create some soft point cutting that way. All right?
You want to
Now-
be careful on fine hair, though, right?
Right.
With this technique.
Now look at this. The next section is much smaller. You see that? See how big the first section was?
Mm-hmm.
Second one is small. So now, after a while cutting, you don't have to put your combs like that anymore. You can just see it, eyeball it. Right. Same thing again. At the FTB line, do you see it? Point. Does anybody sees that hair that I cut really short on her?
No.
You don't see it because all underneath. So going back to what you were saying, if I want to remove bulk, where am I going to do it? Underneath that nobody sees. So when the hair comes over it, peekaboo.
Right.
Again, when I get to the side, I pull it.
If you cut straight up, you wouldn't get all these soft layers, right? If you just went like a vertical cut, it would just be a straight line.
I'll try it. Notice how my sectioning is the same as this mannequin I was showing. Same thing. You have to section about a knuckle at a time. If you do more than section a knuckle time, guess what? You're gonna cut yourself. You're gonna cut yourself. Notice I'm also holding my scissor this way. When you cut, you slide back. Yawning is the lack of oxygen. Anybody who yawns, they need to lack of oxygen. Just 10 times and you'll be fine. Right? This is easier. You won't get carpal tunnel after cutting hair for 20 years.
Do you have it?
Hmm?
Do you have any like illnesses or
I used to.
arthritis?
Once I start doing it the right way,
Oh.
so a lot of you guys are doing it this way. And this, what it does, it brings tension to your, so use it this way.
You removed the pinky guard, the pinky rest?
Hmm?
Did you remove that little
Yeah.
that tang?
It's much, yeah, it's much easier. Just try it. After a while, you will never go back to this one.
Okay.
See how much easier it is for me to hold it? And you don't, see this way it looks like you're crooked, kind of. His hand is like that, you know? It looks crooked. So, I don't know why they ever taught people how to cut with this finger. I don't know what's the reason behind it. Is my section neat?
Yes.
Because somebody was asking about sectioning, so I want to make sure we're covering that.
Very neat.
So now, guess what happens here? When I come here, take another horizontal shape, I come right up to the front now. This is how, a lot of you say, how do we connect the sides to the back? So if I was cutting a bob, so I've already cut the bob here, and now this is where I would be connecting the sides to the back. So at this point, at this area, I can get creative now. She wants shorter, right? So I can come and cut a little bit shorter, short to long.
Do you recommend use razor for this haircut?
You can, yeah.
You can try.
I personally, you can do anything with your scissor
That a razor can help.
that the razor can do.
You can try. I can see when you
Yeah.
please.
So I'm going to show you with just a scissor. I don't cut with razor.
You have more control with a scissor, right?
See, I cut, it's short to long, but I want to go a little bit deeper, so this is what the razor would do. Again, when I get to the side, I'm going to over direct it and soften. See, I keep all my length on the bottom.
Tatiana, we're gonna make a fur coat out of all that hair.
Winter's coming, right?
This is my ET line. So I'm right on my ET. See, this is my ET line right there. So you gotta have a point of reference in all your cuts. So next time she comes in, you won't be lost.
If you lose your guide, I mean, do you have a guide right now, or you're just eyeballing the whole thing? You're not.
I have a guide. Start from my ET line. I mean
Okay.
my FTB line.
Okay. And if you lose track because there's so many
You're never gonna
layers.
lose.
Yeah,
How are you gonna lose? Because you're going by,
right.
section. Let's say, let's say this would be, you would say I lost it, right?
Uh-huh.
But then I go back to how I was, find in my plane, I come here, and section it again. This section is always gonna be the same place, no matter what.
Okay.
Follow me?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody understands what I'm doing? If you don't, raise your hand. You still got hair.
Oh my gosh, this is a lot for week 1.
So we start our shorter layers when we were on the third plane. So if you're writing it down, first plane, 90. Second plane, 90. Third plane, once we get on the top, we start going from reverse 45.
And why is that? To get it shorter on the top, the higher you go?
Yeah. Because that picture should, see, I can also do this. I can match this here at 90. Then I go back in and cut. So I'm not cutting that bottom piece. Make sense? Some of you guys might get lost a little bit. So first, I matched it at the 90.
Okay.
Then I go back, change my position, and cut short to long.
But you do lose a little bit off the ends too when you do that.
But still, everything is blended.
So since you're going short to long and it's a disconnected haircut, it doesn't really matter where you're going and you're cutting to the top section.
I'm kind of going about right here.
Okay.
See, I want a lot of different texture here, a lot of movement. First, I connect the top, and then I go back in, but almost right about the width of your comb, length of your comb. So about right here, you start texturizing. We're going short to long.
Can you apply this to curly hair, or that's a whole different ball game?
You can, yeah. Curly hair is the same. Notice I didn't do texturizing around here as much as I did here, because if I do that, it's going to thin it out on the side.
Mm.
So anything in front of the ET line, I'm not going to be doing that much texturizing. I was going to bring some Persian music here for you guys to dance, but
We have Persian woman.
Gugoosh.
I was not putting music, so I think you want to listen to what we're saying.
so Tatiana, when that party gonna be? It's like something we're gonna have a party.
Well, I text Alana, she said she'll tell me some ideas, waiting for her text.
So now I'm on the side. Just gonna take my hair and do it.
The side is much bigger because he checked my density. I have already on the back.
Is that his